You can't sit still. You can't tolerate quiet. You can't be alone with your thoughts for 5 minutes without reaching for your phone. This isn't weakness. This is design. Modern life has systematically addicted you to chaos, and that addiction is destroying your ability to think, to create, to exist in peace. But here's the truth they don't want you to know. The chaos is profitable. Your fragmentation serves their interests. Your constant stimulation makes them money. Your inability to be still makes you controllable. Today, we expose how modern life creates chaos addiction, and more importantly, how you break free. Addiction isn't just about substances. It's about any pattern where you compulsively engage with something despite negative consequences, where you can't stop even when you want to, where the thing controls you instead of you controlling it. Modern life has created addictive patterns around chaos. Constant notifications, endless scrolling, perpetual stimulation, news cycles designed for outrage, social media engineered for engagement, entertainment optimized to prevent you from ever being bored. And here's how it works neurologically. Every notification, every new piece of content, every stimulating input triggers a small dopamine release. Dopamine is the anticipation neurotransmitter. It's what makes you seek novelty, chase rewards, pursue goals. In healthy doses, dopamine drives achievement, but when it's constantly triggered by external stimuli, it becomes addictive. Your brain starts craving that constant hit, starts becoming uncomfortable without it, starts seeking it compulsively. So you check your phone hundreds of times a day, not because you're expecting anything important, but because your brain is craving that possibility of novelty, that chance of stimulation, that hit of dopamine that comes with new information. You can't watch a show without scrolling simultaneously. You can't eat without consuming content. You can't wait in line without finding something to fill the space. Your brain has been trained to need constant input, and without it, you experience withdrawal. Restlessness, anxiety, discomfort, the feeling that something's wrong, something's missing. You need to check something, engage with something, consume something. This is addiction, and it's not accidental. Every platform you use, every app you engage with, every service you consume, they're designed by teams of psychologists, neuroscientists, and behavioral economists whose entire job is to keep you engaged, to make you unable to stop, to addict you to their platform. Infinite scroll, autoplay, push notifications, algorithm-driven content feeds, social validation through likes and comments, fear of missing out, social comparison. All of these features are deliberately designed to exploit your psychological vulnerabilities. They know that humans can't resist novelty, so they provide endless novelty. They know that humans seek social validation, so they gamify social approval. They know that humans fear exclusion, so they create FOMO. They know that humans compare themselves to others, so they create comparison mechanisms. And it works. The average person spends over 6 hours a day on screens, not working screens, entertainment and social media screens. That's a quarter of your entire life, more than a third of your waking life. Think about what you could build with 6 hours a day, what you could learn, what you could create, what you could become. But you're not doing any of that. You're consuming, scrolling, reacting, being entertained, being distracted, being controlled. And the platforms profit from your attention, which they sell to advertisers, from your data, which they sell to whoever wants it, from your engagement, which keeps their metrics high and their stock prices higher. Your chaos addiction makes them billions. Your inability to be still is their business model. But this isn't just about wasted time. It's about what constant chaos does to your brain, your nervous system, your ability to function as a complete human being. First, it destroys your attention span. When you're constantly switching between stimuli, your brain never develops the ability to focus deeply. You become a skimmer, a scanner, unable to engage with anything complex or nuanced because complexity requires sustained attention you no longer have. You can't read long-form content. You can't watch a movie without checking your phone. You can't have a conversation without getting distracted. Your attention is fragmented into tiny pieces, each too small to accomplish anything meaningful. Second, it keeps you in chronic stress. Constant stimulation means constant activation of your nervous system. You're always alert, always reactive, always in fight or flight mode. Your body wasn't designed for perpetual activation. It needs rest, but chaos addiction prevents rest. Third, it prevents deep thinking. Real thinking, creative thinking, strategic thinking, philosophical thinking requires stillness, requires space, requires time for ideas to develop, connect, mature. But when you're constantly consuming content, there's no space for thinking. You're always in input mode, never in processing mode. So your thoughts become shallow, reactive, borrowed from whatever you consumed most recently. You think you're thinking, but you're just repeating, remixing inputs without generating original output. Fourth, it disconnects you from yourself. When you're always focused outwards, on content, on other people's lives, on external stimulation, you lose touch with your internal experience. You don't know what you actually feel because you're never still enough to feel it. You don't know what you actually want because you're too busy chasing what algorithms tell you to want. You become a stranger to yourself, alienated from your own inner life, existing only in reaction to external stimuli instead of in connection with your own consciousness. This is the real cost, not just time wasted, but selves lost. Breaking free from chaos addiction requires something radical, embracing boredom, actually choosing it, deliberately creating it. This terrifies most people because boredom feels like death in a culture that worships stimulation. Boredom feels like something's wrong, like you're wasting time, like you're missing out. But boredom is not the enemy. Boredom is the gateway to everything valuable that chaos destroys. When you allow yourself to be bored, truly bored, without immediately filling the space, something remarkable happens. Your mind starts generating instead of just consuming. Creativity emerges, insight develops. You start thinking original thoughts instead of reprocessing other people's thoughts. Boredom is the mental state where your brain finally gets to do its own work instead of constantly responding to external input. It's where ideas connect, where problems solve themselves, where you finally hear your own voice above the noise. But you have to tolerate the initial discomfort, because your addiction-trained brain will scream at you to fill the space, to check something, to consume something, to escape the boredom. Don't. Sit with it. Let it be uncomfortable. Let your brain experience the withdrawal from constant stimulation. And on the other side of that withdrawal is freedom. Here's how you actually break the addiction, not theoretically, practically. First, create phone-free zones. Not just times, zones. Physical spaces where your phone doesn't exist. Your bedroom, your dining area, wherever you eat, wherever you sleep, no phone. This forces you to experience those activities without constant stimulation. You'll notice how compulsive the reaching is, how automatic, how uncomfortable it is not to have that option. Good. That discomfort is your addiction revealing itself. Sit with it. Second, build stillness practice. 10 minutes a day, just sitting. No phone, no book, no music, no podcast. Just you and your breath. your thoughts, your internal experience. This will be excruciating at first. Your mind will generate panic. This is a waste of time. You should be doing something. You're falling behind. You're missing out. That's the addiction talking. Ignore it. Stay still. Over time, those 10 minutes become refuge, become the best part of your day, become where clarity happens. But you have to push through the initial resistance. Third, consume with intention, not compulsion. Before you open any app, any platform, any feed, pause. Ask, am I choosing to do this, or am I being compelled? Do I have a specific purpose, or am I just filling space? If you don't have a clear intention, don't engage. Close the app. Sit with the discomfort of not consuming. This breaks the automatic pattern. Most of your consumption is unconscious, habitual. You're not choosing it. You're being controlled by it. Intention brings consciousness. Consciousness enables choice. Fourth, embrace analog activities. Reading physical books, writing by hand, going for walks without headphones, having conversations without phones present. Anything that requires sustained attention without digital stimulation. Your brain needs to relearn how to focus, how to engage deeply, how to be present without constant novelty. Analog activities force this relearning. Fifth, schedule chaos. Don't live in it. You don't have to eliminate social media or news or entertainment entirely, but you have to contain it. Specific times, specific durations, not default mode, not constant background, not the water you swim in. I engage with social media from 7 to 7:30 p.m. That's it. I check news once a day at 6 p.m. for 15 minutes. Chaos becomes a scheduled activity instead of a constant state. When you actually implement these practices, you'll experience withdrawal. Real, physical, psychological withdrawal. This is your nervous system adjusting to the absence of constant stimulation. You'll feel anxious, restless, like something is wrong even though nothing is actually wrong. You'll have strong urges to check, to consume, to escape the discomfort. Your brain will generate justifications like, just for a minute, just to see if there's anything important, just this once. Don't cave. This is the addiction trying to maintain control. If you give in, you're back at square one. The withdrawal has to be completed for the addiction to break. How long does withdrawal last? Usually 2 to 3 weeks of consistent practice. 2 to 3 weeks of discomfort, restlessness, strong cravings. And then it shifts. The cravings weaken. The stillness becomes comfortable. The space becomes valuable instead of threatening. But you have to make it through those 2 to 3 weeks. Most people quit during withdrawal. They decide it's too hard, that they can't do it, that they'll try a more moderate approach, which is just code for give up and return to the addiction. Don't be most people. Push through, because on the other side of withdrawal is something extraordinary. When you break free from chaos addiction, you reclaim capacities you forgot you had. You can focus for hours on a single task. You can read a book without checking your phone. You can have a conversation without mental distractions. You can sit in silence without panic. Your thinking deepens. Your creativity returns. Your stress levels drop. Your sleep improves because you're actually present instead of partially distracted. Your relationships improve because you're actually present instead of partially distracted. Your productivity increases because you can focus instead of fracturing. But more than all of that, you reclaim yourself. You're no longer controlled by external stimuli, no longer reactive, no longer fragmented. You become coherent, integrated, whole. You discover what you actually think when you're not just processing other people's thoughts. You discover what you actually feel when you're not numbing feelings with constant stimulation. You discover who you actually are when you're not performing for algorithms. This is freedom, not from technology, but from technological control. Not from the modern world, but from modern addiction patterns. You can engage with the world on your terms, not theirs. You can use tools without being used by them. You can consume consciously instead of compulsively. Modern life will continue trying to addict you to chaos. That's not changing. The platforms will get more sophisticated. The algorithms will get better at hijacking your attention. The stimulation will increase. But you have a choice. You can surrender to it, accept the fragmentation as normal, live in perpetual chaos because that's just how things are now. Or you can rebel, can reclaim your attention, can choose stillness over stimulation, can break the addiction and build something better in its place. This rebellion won't be popular. People will think you're weird for not being constantly connected, for not responding immediately, for choosing presence over engagement. Let them think that. They're still addicted. You're not. This is mind armor, where chaos is recognized as addiction, where stillness is practiced as rebellion, where freedom is reclaimed through conscious choice. Break free. Choose stillness. Reclaim yourself. The chaos will always be there, but you don't have to live in it.